Okay. I think I got my stuff straightened out here.
I'm glad you hit that button.
Have you got your stuff straightened out?
Yes, I'm straight.
Kelly, you straightened out?
I'm straight.
I mean, Lady Eskimo. Good
Lady
morning, I'm Rayford
Eskimo.
Brown.
I'm Kelly Knapp.
And I'm Lee Barrels.
You look like you're dressed for the Arctic.
I'm wearing a shirt and a jacket. What are you talking about?
Doesn't it look like it's made for extremely cold weather?
No, it's thin too.
No, I
This
guess
is
yeah,
cute.
it's just a flannel. Yeah,
It's thin
cute.
flannel.
It's 70 degrees in here and 39 outside.
It's freezing outside. My hands are cold.
You don't have to get up, get dressed, and go outside to go to work.
No,
Correct.
I went outside this morning.
What, to let the dog out?
No, I just opened the door for that, but I just
Yeah.
went outside to see how cold it was. And came back inside, said it's chilly, but I still wore shorts.
I think it feels great out right now.
It's yeah, if you want to.
What is the temperature outside?
39.
39.
Yeah, that's what it's
Felt
supposed to be.
warmer.
Well, it is out where you live because you got nothing but asphalt. You live in an asphalt jungle, as they call it.
Okay.
It absorbs all the sun, all the heat all day long, and it spends all night long putting it out. So,
Well, I wish you would explain that to the car windshield come cold mornings when there's ice on it.
well, you could pave your car with asphalt and it'd be fine. Or you
Yeah.
could put some your car mats over it, or something
I
like
could
that.
put it in the garage.
Or you could put it in your gateway. I mean,
It's too much trouble.
what's your garage for? Isn't it for a car?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
I put it in there during hurricanes.
Yeah, you put it in during a hurricane, so when a tree falls out across the entrance to the garage, you can't get out at all.
Well, at least my truck is safe
Well,
and not
that's good.
damaged.
That's fine. How's everything going, ladies?
Going well.
Wonderful. Okay, guys, write our telephone number down this morning just in case I say something that's going to aggravate you, which I probably will. If there's any luck at all, I will. 910-333-0139. I told you yesterday, day before, whenever that we had a second interface box coming in for line number 2 on our telephone, and unfortunately it came in, but unfortunately it was the wrong one. So it is back in the mail today, already been packed up and being shipped out today, but another one has been ordered. I didn't wait for them to cross. I just
Things
ordered
happen.
another one.
Right.
Phew, whatever.
It's aggravating.
It looked like this one, and I pulled it out and looked at the connectors, and as I brought it in here, crawled under the desk to get the cables, and I said, uh-oh. Looked at the front of it, and I said, ruh-roh,
Wrong one.
among other things. Okay, let's go to D.C.
Oh, please. Like we've not had enough. Go right ahead.
Unlike the less than cordial events following the 2020 elections, outgoing President Joe Biden has invited President Donald J. Trump to stop by 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue for a chat. It had been a normal thing until 2020, but the tension at the time put an end to that. Today at 11 o'clock this morning, if you hurry, you could get there to watch it. For the first time since his departure in 2021, Trump will be back for a visit. Given the circumstances, some are thinking the meeting and visit will be a bit awkward. I disagree with that. I'm thinking it will be awkward, but not for Trump or Biden. They're both adults. Any bets on whether Cammie Harris will be anywhere around?
No, she won't be there. She'll be out to lunch.
Well, she's been there for quite some time, but I'm betting she's not going to show up. If I was her, I wouldn't show up. And if I was Joe Biden, I would say you're not invited because he doesn't like her anyway. Trump took it easy on the president at their debate in June, a debate that most labeled a disaster for Trump or for Biden. Trump did not back off during the remainder of the campaign, however, taking shots at Biden, but especially at Biden's vice president, the person that Biden endorsed 1 hour in July. Not to be outdone, Biden has been blasting Trump as a threat to America's democracy. I'm thinking the two of them will put it behind them. Again, they're both adults. I don't think that the fighting, the bickering will carry over into a visit at the White House or into the inauguration.
Well, first, Trump will have to introduce himself to Joe because Joe's not going to remember who Trump is.
Oh, he's got
Bless
it on the prompter. So it'll be
Yeah.
okay.
It's on the desk, a picture of Trump. Oh,
Yeah, but anyway, it's as I think it's going to be. There's a point started a week ago,
right.
and I think it's going to be a lot better. I do not think Biden was disappointed. I do know, and from watching seeing some pictures and watching a little video
Right.
of Mrs. President,
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Biden,
First lady.
standing
She,
beside
oh, yeah.
She looked
Vice
heated,
President Harris.
She
I
looked
have not owl
like straight
on the
mad.
stage
You
like
can
that.
tell
Oh my
that
goodness
they were
gracious.
on the edge of a cat fight.
Mhm.
And I put that
Uh-huh.
nicely. Yeah,
Jill
the
would
tension
win.
between them.
Jill would take her to the mat.
She probably would.
I think she would.
So
Mhm.
anyway,
That would be interesting.
it's going to be a time out there.
Oh, and
just say that.
all this talk about Jill Biden invited Melania to the White House today to discuss transitioning and stuff with her, as first ladies do. And Melania turned it down. And all the stuff on the media, the news networks about she's disgusting. How dare her do that? Turn down the first lady. And then, but really, she's been a first lady. She knows the White House. Why does she need to go again? But what was interesting, it was one of the commentators on Fox News was saying this morning that the word was Melania was still a little upset over the fact that Biden signed off or ordered that Trump's house to be raided in Mar-a-Lago.
Of course.
They actually went through Melania's underwear and her closet, and
Yeah.
she's still upset about that. And I was like, well, I would be too.
Well,
but,
when you got when you do that with a female, it's a little bit different.
yeah, it is.
Okay?
It's an invasion,
Mm.
huge invasion. Like she's going to keep secret files under her underwear.
Well,
Really?
as we know, as law enforcement knows, that's where a lot of people keep their stuff.
Yeah.
And as crooks know, don't go hiding your cash in your sock or underwear drawer, folks.
Right.
All right, don't put your gun down there. There are other places because those are some of the first places the bad guys will go look.
Well, I just like, and so she didn't go. Big deal. Why are we making a huge news story out of this and all these,
Well, for
opinions?
I
She just
I
didn't
can
want to
understand
go.
her being ticked off, and she has a right to be ticked off. But that's one and done. It's over with.
Well, that may not even be the reason. It could
Yeah, and that
be
may not
because
be
that
the
all
reason.
came from news sources, but
Yeah. Well,
it could be just like, yeah, I've been there. I was there for 4 years.
but even
Not
if
a big
she
deal.
was, personally speaking, I would have bitten the bullet
Mm-hmm.
and say, okay, I'll stop by and say, hey, I'll have a cup of hot chocolate.
She can stop by and say hey on inauguration day. I
Yeah.
mean, whatever.
But I mean,
There's really no need to diss the outgoing folks.
Well, that's true, like Trump did in 2020.
Yeah, pretty much. That is-
Yeah,
But-
well,
but I mean, Lee's right about something. She's been there before. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So,
What do you think those kinds of visits are anything to really help the incoming? No.
No.
There is a cordial, let's have a little bit of a, hey, it's good to see you.
some people are bitter. I mean,
I know
and
they
I
are.
can't say that if I were in her shoes, I wouldn't have been bitter. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
I might would have, knowing me, I would have probably just went and,
Suck it
I
up
don't
and
know,
do it.
tried. I mean, I have a hard time faking liking somebody. It's a character
You don't
flaw.
have to like them.
Well,
No,
You know.
I just, yeah.
I
But-
just can't. How hard it would be for them both to sit there and try to be polite and be nice to each other.
Especially with
When
all the
Jill
smack they
knows-
talked.
Joe got pushed out,
Yeah.
and I'm
Mhm.
sure Jill is bitter about that. And then after what Melania's been through, and it'd be like you sitting there with somebody that you absolutely don't want to be with and trying to sit there and make small talk and be, let's go look at the China. I'd be like, no.
Okay.
Interesting though. Can't wait to see
Folks,
what happens
Out
today.
there on the highways this morning and every morning during the school year, you're going to find big old orange things.
Correct.
They're
Yes.
loaded with kids or going to be loaded with kids sooner or
Correct.
later. Yesterday morning, very early yesterday
Mhm.
morning, Highway Patrol says a woman ran into the back of a school bus that was stopped up in Beaufort County. Luckily, nobody aboard the bus was injured. There were 2 kids and a driver, I think, and none of those were hurt. But the damage from the photograph, the impact of that wreck was pretty horrendous.
Not see a big giant bus.
Because you're
stop.
doing something else. Do you
Attentiveness.
have any other questions about that?
I
Yeah, that's it. You're doing something else.
Inattentiveness, right.
The woman is facing charges. She's 24 years old.
As she should be.
Gabrielle Fox of Washington. As it was slowing down to pick up another student. Luckily, God. Ooh. Happened near Chocowinity Primary School. So anyway, y'all slow your butts down and pay attention to what's going on. Early morning light and late afternoon, early evening light is the worst times of day to be driving. Anyway, you got a sun that's sometimes coming straight at you. That's it is.
Rough.
It's an excuse, but it's not a reason for doing stupid stuff.
There has been so many
Back away.
wrecks.
Yeah.
See, I got wrecks on Western Boulevard the past week. So
There was a
many.
big one yesterday.
Yeah.
I had a
Yes.
client late because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I think Saturday afternoon was in there one. Rayford, there was, yeah.
They're on
Several.
Western. I don't know what was involved, but we were at the Outback and didn't even see a thing or hear anything because it was dark by that time, and we inside where it's nice and lit.
Right.
Got outside and there were lights to the left of us, lights to the right of us.
It's
All
two
of them were reds
separate.
and blues,
Yes.
and you could not drive in the lane that I wanted to get out of town.
Right.
It was kind of strange and awful.
Right.
And Western and 17 was blocked down, and then I saw more blue lights up there at the Home Depot area.
Mhm.
So it was like, holy moly, what is going on? So I said, okay, that little street that runs beside Jaeger's,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
hate that little median or
I know.
barricade in
I
the
did
middle
the
of the
same
roadway
thing you
there.
did. I drove right over top
But
of
the
it.
only way I could get out of that place was to
Well,
go
that-
across it.
Yep.
And
That's about to be more congested when that Wawa gets built. there.
Yes, because
So-
that's where Wawa's going.
Uh-huh.
Oh God,
Uh-huh.
they need to build me another road at access point.
Well, I understand
But-
completely because when I went to make a left out of there, because I could not make the right because something was happening. And when I went to make the left, and then I realized there's a concrete median. And
Where did that thing come from?
either I drive an oncoming lane further down or I take the median. So I went over the concrete median
Now,
to
if you
get to
didn't
the
have
other
a
side.
truck or a Jeep or something that
You'd be
sits up off the
sunk.
ground, you would be
Right.
stuck, teeter
Why, who
tottering
put
back and
that
forth
there?
across it. Well, it's to keep people from driving over it, and it keeps part of them from driving over it. Didn't stop me. But
Didn't stop me.
what a mess that is.
I just can't.
So,
Yeah.
and up on I-40, here's another warning to y'all.
Oh, yeah. Barricades.
When there's a barricade,
Don't drive through.
it means for you not to do that. So this lady goes around 2 of them, 2 sets of barricades.
Mhm.
And then that was
Then there was no road.
and then the road went away, disappeared. And she went around multiple barricades on the closed section of I-40. It's closed, y'all.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she just a few feet, she stopped about 100 feet down.
She's lucky she didn't die. I seen the pictures. I
She
saw
is
yesterday.
dead.
Oh, she did die?
She's dead. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought
she
that lady,
did-
that lady survived.
They rescued
Okay.
her, and then she was, I believe, evacuated.
Oh, okay, good. What I heard
She
about
died
she
over
was
the
alive.
weekend. Yes, she did
Oh.
die.
Of course, this is the part of the road that was
Mhm.
washed away
Yeah.
because of Helene floodwaters
Correct.
from the Pigeon River.
Yeah.
The car was about 100 feet from the roadway with the driver on the passenger side when they got down to it. Troopers say the woman, who was from Southern Pines, heading west in the eastbound lanes. Okay, well, there's nothing
minute.
right about this entire story. You understand that,
in
right?
the eastbound lane.
So she started going the
Okay.
wrong way.
How?
She just crossed over and went the wrong way.
But you can't just cross
Yes, you
over
can.
through
She was
there.
at an exit. She took the exit and decided to go the wrong way.
Right.
Y'all,
I'm
I-
trying to wrap my head around this.
please, just quit that. Just don't do things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So now, karma, tragedy, all wrapped into one. Wichita. The police out there say a 69-year-old man was trapped between. I've tried to get my head wrapped around this picture all morning long. I can't figure it out.
I hadn't heard this one. What is this?
A man got trapped between the door on his van and the van's body as he attempted to flee the scene of a theft.
Wait, okay.
He was at a store.
He was at the store.
And he stopped there and he was trying to steal an air filter for his house.
An air filter? Like what goes in your little thing? Okay.
For the house. This was at a hardware store.
House air filter.
An Ace hardware store.
A square one or, okay.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He was run over by his own vehicle because he was trapped between, let me read that part to you again.
The door?
Trapped between a door on his van and the van's body. Door. Maybe it was open and the car took off and then slammed the door against him. It's what I'm thinking. You open the door and the van goes into motion and you're standing outside.
Yeah.
And then it comes up, makes contact with the side of the store to the point that it closes the door on you. You're dead. And he was.
I'm still trying to figure that out.
It's the only way I can figure out that could happen.
Now.
Yeah. So anyway.
Well, how did you hear that story? I hadn't even seen that one.
Oh, it's all over the news. If you look for weird.
That is news of the weird. Okay.
Well, you know me. I look for weird. It's a tragic situation. I was 70 years old. I mean,
But if you can afford gas for your van, which is not cheap no matter where you are, you can't afford an $8 air filter? Or you just have to steal one?
Some people
do dumb things.
They say, well, let's go back to my griping. And I was going to say something else about yesterday. $14 butter at Sam's, my little 4-pack of just straight old butter.
What? What?
4-pack of 1 pound butter.
You talking about sticks?
No, 4-pack. 4 sticks per pack.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, so
4 packs
16 sticks total.
16, that's 4 pounds.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
It went from $8 a few months ago, the last time I had to buy butter, to $14 and change.
Well, you can buy 1 pound at Food Lion for $4 something.
Just try to buy
comes out to be $16.
Yeah.
Right. Sam's way too.
Go back to Food Line again, because in the meantime, before I went to Sam's, I was stuck because I didn't have no butter for my popcorn.
Uh-oh.
You can't do that to me. So I stopped by $6.29 for a 4-pack, 1 pound.
I just bought some.
So it ended up being more if you bought 4 pounds at Food Line.
No. 1 pound.
1 pound was $6.
4 times 6 is $24.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would be more to buy it at Food Line than it was for you to buy it at Sam's Club. That's what I'm trying to say.
I just bought 4 sticks. Comes in the box, and I paid $4 and something for it. That was like 3 days ago.
Well, you're going to like this one, Rayford.
It was still more than I paid at Sam's.
Yeah, I know.
I can't even eat, because they're making me not do any kind of dairy for 6 weeks. I'm having to eat plant butter.
What kind of butter?
Plant butter.
Plant has never produced any butter.
I know. I honestly don't know what I'm eating.
I've grown a lot of plants. I've seen a lot of plants. I've been around a lot of plants. My granddaddy was a farmer.
Let's go grow some butter plants.
Yeah.
We got to call our friend.
Yes, we need Meredith.
Meredith, calling all Meredith. Yeah. Meredith, where are you? We need to plant butter.
Yeah. I don't want to know what it's made from.
I'm going to take a stick of butter and stick it in the dirt.
But it grows. When I ate a baked potato Sunday, it tasted like butter. Once again, don't want to know. I haven't read it.
Well, that's like they make that. I can't believe it's not butter. That one.
That's not good for you. My doctor told me that.
Soy, veggie. I don't.
Whatever.
Mine just says plant butter, and it was pricey.
Pricey?
Yeah, it was not cheap.
Well,
it just grew out of dirt, and it was still expensive.
It grew out of something. Yes.
I don't. Yeah. I seldom ever even use butter.
Oh Lord.
I don't use it that much.
Butter's my friend. I just can't eat it for 6 weeks.
Very seldom use it. In cooking, I use it, but that's about it.
Butter on, I can't have bread.
And I stopped getting the salted butter a year ago, I used the unsalted to keep the salt content down. And then if I'm cooking something that, takes butter, like mashed potatoes, I just cut it smaller for my mashed potatoes. I learned to cut back.
I hear you.
I know, and I love salted butter on toast. It's just a taste about it. Now I've been using the unsalted. It just doesn't taste the same.
You can't eat toast without butter on it.
I know it.
People do it, but I how?
Okay.
Why?
The Marine Forecast by Community Prevention Services of Jacksonville. You've no doubt seen the colorful and well-lit stores featuring vaping products pretty much everywhere you go, about 70 of them or so in Onslow County. Maybe you just are not aware. Maybe you haven't been paying attention to what we've been saying and what the reports in the news are saying, what the cops are saying. But did you know that North Carolina is number 2 in the nation for teenagers vape use? Parents and caregivers, if you want to learn more about vaping, the inherent dangers for teenagers who vape, and how to help keep teens from partaking, there is some help out there. Contact Community Prevention Services, 910-353-0972. They're located right here in Jacksonville, locally owned and operated, meaning you don't have to drive all over North Carolina to get some help. Maybe you want to learn what all the hype's about in vaping. Is vaping actually dangerous? There's that question. There are people going to ask that question. I mean, what's the big deal? Is it worse than cigarettes? Is this just a sneaky way for some people to smoke weed? Find out the truth. Is your teen telling you that there's nothing wrong with it? That it's safer than smoking? That the product is nothing more than just some steam? If you don't know any better, it's time to get yourself educated. Community Prevention Services offers free information on all substance misuse prevention issues for youth and adults. Give them a call today, 910-353-0972. Community Prevention Services located at 918 Henderson Drive. Again, right here in Jacksonville, the number 910-353-0972. Okay, offshore out to 20 nautical miles, a small craft advisory has been extended through Saturday afternoon. Don't go there. Northeasterly winds today, 15 to 20 knots, gusts to 30 knots, seas 5 to 7 feet, except 3 to 4 near shore. Sounds and rivers are choppy. Tomorrow, easterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 3 to 5, 2 to 3 near shore. Sounds and rivers a moderate chop. Friday, northwesterly winds 20 to 25, gusts to 30. Seas 5 to 7 feet, 2 to 4 near shore. Sounds and rivers are going to be Kelly rough.
Very much so. Today, sunny, high of 61, with winds 7 to 10 miles an hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low of 48. It was cold. Tomorrow, rain mainly after 2 p.m., but around here, who knows? High will be 62, and it's 80% chance. So fairly decent chance it's going to rain tomorrow. Tomorrow night, rain mainly before midnight, low of 52 with 16 mile an hour gusts and 90% tomorrow night. So up to an inch. It's going to rain tomorrow night too. Wow. On Friday, mostly cloudy, a high of 60, north winds 13 to 17 miles an hour and 26 mile an hour gusts. Good gracious.
Yeah.
Oh, and then for y'all's game on Friday night, mostly clear, 43.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier about Jesse
You
Moore.
better bring your chili and your thermos of coffee, 2 or 3
I don't
thermoses.
do coffee. But I'm going to be bringing
Hot chocolate.
I'll be bringing the hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Well,
hot chocolate's coming.
Bring you like a, what is it? Like a Mountain Dog, St. Bernard little thermos around his little neck. You can tell that.
I really don't think they will let him in.
Kelly, we'll just put the thermos around Rafer's neck.
Right, he's your mascot. Put a little Cardinal jersey on him. He's the mascot.
Hey, maybe we could get the Cardinal,
Yeah,
our mascot.
yeah.
That bird. I'm so glad.
Hey, I wonder if we all got a Cardinal costume, if we could just sneak in.
I don't
Probably.
think
Well,
so.
they do it at pro games.
Robbie would hit us
Yeah.
because she doesn't like that bird.
She does not like that bird.
She has something.
Now
against-
they've changed.
There's one of
She
them.
don't
She's
like the
okay.
Cardinal
It's the
It's-
first one.
It's the uniform.
First of the
costume.
year.
Mhm.
The bird looked kind of evil. And every time,
Looked
like,
like a
when we'd
vulture.
go be walking up there to get popcorn or something, we'd have to walk all the way around. I hate that bird.
Oh, wow. Huh.
Picture of him, sent it to her one time.
She's going to go
Here's your
bird hunting
bird.
one of these days. You better watch out there, bird.
Here's your bird.
Okay, you have not mentioned something at all this morning, and I'm surprised, shocked, dismayed about your powers of observation.
Oh my goodness.
Would you refer your eyes to the monitor over there?
I
was
was just
just
going
gonna
to
bring it
I just
up.
wasn't going to bring it up.
It's
Mr. Red X over there.
going to
No, I saw it as soon as I sat down because it's right directly across from me.
A
I
broad
was,
area.
I was
of-
hoping it'd go away.
No,
That's
a
not
broad
going
area
to.
of low pressure over the
Mhm.
central Caribbean Sea
Mhm.
continues to produce a large area of showers and thunderstorms this morning. Environmental conditions conducive for further development, and a tropical depression is likely to form within the next couple of days as the system moves slowly westward into the western Caribbean Sea. After that, further development is likely while the disturbance meanders, I love that word, over the western Caribbean. That means they don't know what direction it's going to go, over the western Caribbean through the weekend. The system is then expected to turn slowly northwestward by early next week. Interests across the western and northwestern Caribbean Sea should monitor the progress of this system. Regardless of any development, heavy rains are expected over Jamaica during the next day or so. I've been to Jamaica many, many times, and they have mudslides. They have hills there. They have heavy mudslides, and they are extremely dangerous to the residents who live in that area. Formation chance over the next 48 hours, 90%. Over the next 7 days, 90%. There's a good possibility this one will develop into something, definitely a tropical depression. And after that, I don't know. It's late in the season, but it's not that late in the season.
Yeah.
Waters down that neck of the woods are warm.
It's one worth watching to see how it develops and
Yeah,
what it does.
I will go out on a limb and say there's almost no chance we will have an issue here. But even if it does make land, even if it gets into the Gulf of Mexico and does its thing and heads for landfall along the Gulf Coast, we will get some rain
Right.
the days and weeks after that, or the days after that, because
Well,
we'll
with
pick up whatever rain
what
there
we're
is.
expected to get Thursday into Thursday evening, Friday morning,
Mhm.
they said we may get up to an inch, and that'll probably be the first good inch that we've had in the last 6 weeks.
Yep.
Ground
Yeah.
is so dry,
Yeah.
Mhm.
so
Well,
dry.
Did you see the wrap outside this morning when you came in? You missed that too.
No, I didn't see that.
Well, the dome is back up and operating.
The
It's
dome.
got lights inside, but
Oh,
they're
does
not,
it?
they're not
Okay.
turned on because
Oh.
it's not that cold yet.
Right. Okay.
All of the pineapple plants, those that are not secured inside here, are out there. We got a half dozen or so here.
Good
The
to
rest
know
of
where
them
they
are
are.
in under wraps. Under wraps.
Mhm.
They'll be that way until next spring. And I put 2 thermometer sensing things out there. Robbie does his high tech.
I know she does.
She has, there will be 4 heat lamps to come on as needed and a small heater to come on as needed.
I like it.
Yeah. Well. Okay, we're waiting for a call. We should be getting Dr.
Mhm.
Rose
Sure.
and then Peter Wright coming in after that, and we'll talk Medicare related. I'm still getting messages and calls and all sorts of stuff. The calls have eased off because I blocked most of them, and
I yelled at one.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Oh, what'd you
Oh.
say?
As soon as I said hello, and they go, "Is
Hang on."
this so and so?" Which
Nope.
they never say right, which aggravates me. And then
How
they
did they
said,
say it?
"I'm not even going to go there." And so they started, and I just yelled, "Quit calling me!" I did it because I'm just tired of it.
Do y'all not understand that he's already passed away? And y'all keep calling, and you're aggravating all of us. We're waiting here, getting ready for funeral preparations, and you're bugging us about this every day.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just not leave us alone?
Mm-hmm.
Try that on for size sometime.
That's
Well,
I don't know. That's too karma-ish for me. I don't know if I'd throw that out
Well,
there.
I've had calls from my mother, and I'm
Mhm.
just like,
Yeah.
when I got nasty, I just said, "She's dead."
Oh.
I know it's terrible. My mom would have done it.
I bet she was feisty.
She could be, yes.
Mm. We're still waiting for Dr. Rose.
I was trying to find this one resolution that the Board of Education voted on last night. And because I came into it late because, last night was my last night of my class. And I just haven't gotten to it yet, but it got very controversial and it was passed. Okay, it's a resolution in support of local public schools in North Carolina. And I don't have the wording on it yet, but here it is right here. But it once again got controversial and it was voted 5-2. And you can guess the 2 that voted against it.
Okay.
Yeah, whereas the Constitution of North Carolina guarantees the right to a general and uniform system of free local public schools accessible to all students, which is maintained for a minimum of 9 months each year, and it goes on. And let me see what the therefore is. Therefore be it resolved that the Onslow County Board of Education calls upon the North Carolina General Assembly to prioritize local public education and to fund our state's local public schools in accordance with the North Carolina Constitution, ensuring that every student receives the education they are entitled to in a system that is equitable, transparent, and accountable. And I think there was controversy brought up about private schools.
Mm.
So anyway, we got kind of heated.
Yeah,
and
whatever it is, I'm
crazy.
against it because I don't understand it.
And but it was the resolution passed 5-2. So
Okay, so it's a fact of life. Okie dokie. Let's go find. Is there a doctor in the house? Is there a doctor in the house? I think we need a doctor.
Good morning.
There you are, Dr. Rosemary
you
Stein.
need one this morning.
Oh, I definitely need one. I need some invigorating substances this morning because wow, it's chilly out. It's chilly out here. I need some hot chocolate.
It's chilly out here too.
No, so we need some chili on a chilly day, don't we?
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Oh, that sounds good.
I think I got the makings up there. I just got to take it out of the freezer while I go make my monthly visit to Wilmington, and maybe it'll be ready when I get back, and I can hook us up with some
that
chili.
chili was good.
Well, not according to what you found out later. The contents. Roadkills makes great chili, tenderized and everything.
Okay. Well, yes.
Okay, gotcha. Well, first we're going to start this with a joke.
All right.
Not from me. Coming from Lee.
No, we were doing jokes yesterday, and I found one that would apply to you, Dr. Rose. Why are pediatricians so grumpy? Because they have little patience.
Oh, that is cute.
See, Rayford.
I told her it was worse than anything I've come up with.
I gave it to Rayford, but he chickened out, so he made me do it.
Yeah, I wasn't going to do it. I didn't want Kelly to hit me again.
I think it's very cute.
Yeah, it's cute.
I might use that. I'm grumpy today. I have little patience.
That would be a good little sign to put up on your wall.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's cute.
Yep, I do
Thank
too.
you so much.
All right, there you go. What's going on in the world of sick little kids?
Oh.
Well, talking about grumpy, a lot of them came in yesterday and they were pretty grumpy because they weren't feeling well.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, we got quite a bit of illnesses and lots of congestion and sinusy things and things that get into their chest. We're starting to see that weather really take a hold on the kids' health now.
Hmm. Well,
so so parents remember to remind your children to wash their hands and to blow their noses and all that good stuff that needs to happen during this time of year, because otherwise all that illness gets passed around more, and the congestion goes into the kid's chest if they don't spit it out.
Yeah. Well, I'm mostly over whatever was going around, I'm going to say my wife was likely right, and that you concurred with my wife that it probably sinus mess going around because of all the mess that we had in the air. This has been an unusual fall for me. I don't have allergies typically, but apparently I do and did not know it. And it all kind of went down towards the chest and tickles and gets in the throat and just all sorts of mess and makes me cough. And I hated it. It was just a nasty feeling. I thought I was, I was thinking I had lung cancer or something,
Oh
the
my
way things were
Lord.
going.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Well,
Did you-
you know how guys are. Small sniffle and we've got
Do
disease.
tell.
to go to the doctor, or did it finally go away on its own?
Well, luckily I had a scheduled quarterly appointment. So I went.
Got everybody in the office sick.
No, they said it's just sinuses. And I said, okay. Why did I come see you? My wife and my concierge doctor up there in Alamance County told me the same thing.
Well, it sounds like you're feeling better, so maybe they made the right decision.
Yeah, I'm good. No problem. That little 44 formula stuff for Vicks with the DM attached to the end of it does help with the cough, though. I will tell you that.
Yes, it helps to get the to expectorate, to get that stuff out of
Is
there.
that what it is?
So that's-
Okay.
that's
Whatever it
good.
does, it works.
Yeah.
The thing is, what's bad about it, I got used to the taste of it because that crap doesn't ever taste good. But after a while, I kind of got accustomed to it and didn't mind it at all. So,
Yeah, let me
It's
go get
actually
some cough
a little
syrup.
bad.
anyway, what else? What can we look forward to? We got Thanksgiving coming up here. Any warnings for the little kiddies besides stay away from flaming oil?
Well, that is so true. We did have a little girl come in recently, and it's not just the oil; those nasty ramen noodle
Ugh.
packets.
Oh.
Be careful with those. The kids will tend to put them in the microwave, get them out, and spill them over herself. And this
Ooh.
young lady was in the hospital for, I think it was 2 or 3 days,
What?
with third-degree burns, because she was going around the house and getting her ramen ready. So just make sure you supervise your children. It's sad to see little kids disfigured, and she was only, I think, 8 or 9.
Why? Who puts ramen noodles in ramen noodles for a long time? But I never put them in a
I
microwave.
don't eat them. They're
Oh, well,
Is that-
I guess this family did. I think that's the way that most people cook it, but
Really?
Don't they
Yeah.
say it takes
But
years to digest those noodles?
just so gross.
No, I've never heard
I
that.
have heard something like that. Yeah, I
Yes.
just don't eat them. They're not good for you. I had a dietitian tell me that.
When I can get 10 packs for 59 cents?
Well, you can't anymore, but I hear
Oh,
you.
really?
Yeah.
10 packs for $5.90.
Yeah.
good old
Well.
inflation. But yeah, be careful about those things. And the other thing that I'd like to remind parents is that the little ones under 2 months of age, they shouldn't be with large crowds. So if you are going to take them to grandma's for Thanksgiving, make sure that you have them sort of tucked away somewhere. Those little ones don't have immunity yet. They haven't received their vaccines. They haven't mounted a good immune response. So they get sick very, very easily. And when they do get sick and they run a fever, if they're less than 2 months of age, they do have to be seen in the hospital and make sure that they don't have meningitis.
Yeah.
So just keep those little ones away from big groups of people, because people love to come over to them and kiss them and touch their little heads because they're so adorable. But on the other hand, we don't want those little ones sick.
Yeah.
Right.
Granny, great grandma, Aunt Bertha, all of those people with snuff in the mouth. Yeah, my God, I can remember those days. Yeah, a newborn, just stay away.
I had
That's right.
family members that I know that took their child 2 weeks old out trick or treating. I'm
Huh?
like, what are you doing?
What?
Yes. Trick or treating.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot, and even going to the mall or going to busy restaurants, and it's like, oh, that personally it hurts me, because
Yeah.
I see them and I think, oh, they're going to wind up in somebody's office, or somebody's going to ignore a fever, and the little one could be in danger. But just remember that parents or grandparents, those immune systems are not ready to go out and be exposed to a lot of people.
Okay, the closest one. Even if I walk by a peanut patch or a can of boiled peanuts in the grocery store, I cannot come into this office with her and get any closer than 3 feet. She's highly allergic to peanuts. Now let's bring this over to kids. There is a story here. Kids, when they visit other places, you do not know. I mean, when they're old enough to eat adult type food. Christmas time, Thanksgiving time. Thanksgiving's a key example. I deep fry my turkey, but I do not use peanut oil
I don't
for
know.
a reason, because I have no idea the people that I'm going to be feeding it to, whether they have a peanut allergy or not.
Correct.
Kelly couldn't come within 40 feet if I had
Nope.
cooked peanut oil. I don't use it. I like it, but I don't use it for that
Mhm.
reason. About going to places where you don't know what they're cooking or what they're cooking with, or especially for, when you go out for Thanksgiving or Christmas is coming up, you don't know what all these people who are bringing covered dishes are cooking, do you?
Found that
Well, that
out.
is true, and you don't know what they're cooking them in. So if you have food allergies, make sure that you first of all announce it, and the second thing is that be very, 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 very cautious. You may just want to eat something that a close friend or a close family member has made, so that you don't wind up in the emergency room on Thanksgiving and Christmas. That would be kind of sad.
The Salvation Army here, Men Who Cook contests, they've had 2 of those for the last 2 years, one each year. And one of the things that they do is they want us, the contestants, to put down every ingredient. It's not so people can steal them. You don't have to put down the quantity, but you're supposed to list every ingredient and have it posted at your station, of which I do.
Correct.
Because there's so much stuff in there, and people with seafood allergies or whatever, they may not want to eat what I cook. But I do
I like that.
I think that should be one of the things that a covered dish, where you go out for family. Here's the stuff that I got in this.
Well, they do it in Europe in the restaurants. When you on the menu, they put the allergens that come.
Well,
you have to list
but
it.
that's in a restaurant.
In a restaurant,
I'm talking about when you go to grandma's for Thanksgiving.
I'm wary. I ask people what it's made, or I'll just bring my own food.
Well, that's like
Yeah.
if you're cooking for people like that, you should keep it very, very simple. Don't add a lot of stuff. Put the stuff on the table. If they want to add salt and pepper, let them add salt and pepper, whatever. But yeah, I try to make mine very, very basic and then let everybody else add on.
Yeah. So
I
anyway,
think that's a great idea.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
The list, and for the rest of us who are cooking, to keep it basic.
Right.
Because some people may like a lot of black pepper, and some hate black pepper.
I generally season real easy with salt and pepper to begin with.
And people just do it themselves.
Yeah, you can add to it. You can't take it out, but you can add to it.
Correct.
That part's easy. But of course, a lot of stuff I cook things like peppers. So it's going to have some heat and or
That's
taste.
what I have to. Well, the peppers and the black peppercorns.
Because Lee has an
I don't
allergy.
do peppercorns.
I have a small allergy to that. I just break out with welts on my face.
Yep. She
We'll
knows.
get
I've
over
seen it. She put, during COVID, she could hide it with the face mask, but now not so much.
I got a mask up here.
That creeps me out. We should take it down.
Okay. Anyway, Dr. Rose, you're getting ready for tea day. Are you going anywhere?
No. Oh well, we just go out to we are members of a little club in Greensboro. We just go out and have a very nice, restful time.
Good
that's
for
good.
you.
I guess we're a little older, and Hannah is not here. And speaking of Hannah, by the way, I'm going to go visit her, so I will be back on Wednesday. So next Wednesday we won't talk.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We'll miss you.
And she is hiding out where?
In the Dominican
Yeah.
Republic,
Yeah.
finishing
There
up her
you
medical
go.
school.
Wow.
It's down to 1 year and a little bit.
So how many pieces of luggage can you carry?
Depends on the airline.
One and you. We'll meet at the Greensboro airport.
Yeah.
Okay.
on
I'm
Friday.
just thinking I can give you a very large bag that I can fit in. If the flight is not too long, I might get cramps otherwise. All right. Well, that'd be fun. Have fun down there.
Thank you. Just want to keep an eye on her and let her know that she's supported, even though she's not here for Thanksgiving.
Have you told her you're coming yet?
Oh, yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay. Oh, I was just thinking it might be a sneak surprise.
It's better if she knows that way she can
Ah.
make plans.
Yeah, she can get things cleaned up and straightened up and hidden.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, I don't know about the hidden, but the rest of it, yes.
I
Now
got
when
you.
mom and dad's coming, you don't hide it, you get rid of it.
There you
Rayford.
go. Because some of us we search real well. All right, we're sneaky. Dr. Rose, thank you. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks.
Thank you,
guys. Have
Dr.
a great
Rose.
weekend.
All right, you too.
Hey, real quick, I want to go back to that resolution that I was talking
Yeah.
about because I had one more paragraph that I did not read, and I think it helps explains it. You know, we were saying that it was a resolution that was voted on of education, but I did that. Therefore, be it resolved. But there is a further resolve. Be it further resolved that we oppose any further expansion of the Opportunity Scholarship Voucher Program at the expense of local public schools and urge lawmakers to prioritize funding for public schools, which serve the vast majority of North Carolina's children and provide a cornerstone for our democratic society by promoting an inclusive, educated citizenry upon which the future of our republic depends. And I think what the whole thing was about, there is a call to include private schools in this.
Uh-huh.
And two of the board members are definitely against this because they think it needs to be opened up to include private schooling. So
I don't think taxpayer money should be. Well, let's use that taxpayer money to beef up our public schools. That's what I think needs to happen. Period.
I understand 100%.
We have a public school system.
We do have a
Right.
public
If
school
you
system.
if you want to send your kids to a private school, that's upon you. That's on
That's
you.
right. Or homeschool.
Or homeschool. That's on
I'm
you.
doggone well opposed to paying somebody to homeschool their
I
kids.
think you lose a lot of privileges that the public school offers when you homeschool or send them to a private school. But I'm with you, Kelly. Board of Education here governs public education.
And tax dollars.
And there was one of the board members last night that was more or less saying that's not right. And a couple of others, Board of Education, members were saying, we're here to govern public policy
Correct.
in our public schools.
Correct.
That's what we're here to do. It's not up to us to decide what homeschooling does.
You mean private
schools.
schools or homeschooling?
Yeah. And it just got kind of crazy last night again.
Well, private schools are also, some of them, who's governing them?
Nobody.
They're not, they don't fall under DPI.
I know, but I do think there's
They
some
under certain-
regulations or
there are-
something
there
that
are
they have to follow.
requirements.
Yeah, there are
they have to meet
requirements.
certain minimum
But
standards.
Well, let me tell you, I have seen and firsthand experienced it. I hear what you're saying. I can't say all of them do.
right.
And I can say that from firsthand experience. Not only that, once again, as a tax-paying citizen, I don't want to pay for private schools.
That's kinda
Some of them
like
have
me
got teachers
paying
that are not
for-
even qualified to be teaching,
It's kind
and
of like
here
me
locally.
paying for
So
your,
there's
your
that.
membership in the country club. Okay,
That's
I'm
right.
not going to do that.
That's
either.
your decision, your
That's my money.
thing.
Yeah.
And I have no problem with anybody homeschooling or going to private
I don't
schools. It's
either.
your choice. It's your right. But I don't think that public schools should be funding homeschooling or private schooling because they have a responsibility to take care of the students there,
Mhm.
not everybody. So yeah, Kelly and I we agree on that.
Especially some of the homeschools around here as well.
Well, yeah, I
And
don't
then
know. I
private
don't
schools.
know anything about them. They homeschool the way they want to. They say the proponents say that to put my kid up against the other kids and for the typical testing and all that sort of good stuff, and my kid comes out on top every time. Yada yada yada. I hear that.
I've seen
and
that.
it may
They
be true.
But
Maybe
have
not
also
always.
attention.
I have also seen kids that are being and I'm doing air quotes now, their kids are being homeschooled, and the kid can't hardly write their name. They aren't doing anything. These kids technically are not in school.
The only thing that I see homeschooling, which they get more attention, they get more direct supervision. I think they probably learn quicker. But what about all the social
That's the problem.
stuff, like being able to go to the school dances and socializing with your friends?
But some homeschool groups meet.
Yeah,
There's a
but
group right here that meets.
how about having your school, any events of football?
Right.
How about other events that you have?
I'm sure
they will have a social dance here and there with 7 people showing up. So there's one person, odd person out right up front. But whatever. But how about the other mixing of clubs and things like that they have at schools?
Okay, so I have a client that does some kind of North Carolina virtual school or some kind of virtual school. It's an online virtual school. But they, like, for example, they had a prom in Raleigh in May. They have school dances. They take really cool field trips.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, and it's accredited by the state. I don't know if this is Onslow County has an online virtual school. It's Onslow County virtual school. This one isn't Onslow County. This is a state one. So it must be some kind of DPI school. But she's done with her lessons by like 12:30 every day.
Right.
But it's virtual. It's almost like I equate it to like a Zoom call. I mean, they can see the kids in there, but they take like amazing field trips and stuff like that.
Cool.
But I don't know how much it costs. I know it's not free.
Mm-hmm.
But the mom says the education, it's all the fluff and the whatever. But this kid does get to go to dances and stuff, but other ones don't. I have a kid that's homeschooled out of a whole nother state. Yeah.
What do you do about a homeschool kid that is being schooled at home and maybe not getting the education
That's
what
I'm
need,
saying. I've seen it.
and the person that's homeschooling them is submitting stuff that's showing that this child is getting this, but they're not really getting it.
Well, it's going to come up when a kid can't function in life as an adult in a job, can't write their name. I've seen it. I had to have a talk with a parent. Like, I don't think this homeschooling thing is for you because your kid can't do anything.
Well,
I mean, sadly.
And
they agree.
Now I'm going to take a couple of shots. You ready?
But there's a lot of advantages to
There's a lot of
homeschooling.
advantages
I would
to
say
homeschooling.
that.
Yeah.
Now, I've also, as I've said, back in my days as a television news guy, news director, because I would get mail from for the whole department, and I'd get mail from people that were in prison.
Yeah.
Okay, people who were in jail. I started after a while because about being locked up, and because they would send stuff out to the media, complaining about being locked away and how the system had screwed them over and they weren't guilty and they've got too big along a sentence or they got this yada 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 boo hoo 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 hoo, right? And trying to read what they wrote was virtually impossible. It took quite a while to get it so that I could translate it for myself.
I remember you telling me this.
Okay,
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
I said, well, I should have kept all of those letters because I would like to publish them. That would be great if the world could read them.
Yeah.
But then I started going back and I said, you know what? Let me do a little background on this dude. Not all, but a big chunk of them got a long ways through high school, if not graduated from high school. They should never,
They got passed
ever
Yeah.
have been graduated
I agree.
if they could not write any better than that or think any better than that. And no wonder they're where they are. So just because you got a piece of paper that says, yes, I graduated from high school, does not mean for one split second that you are educated.
Well, you remember the big scandal at New Bern last year before last, with passing a lot of the athletes, and they had not even earned the grade.
Oh, well, I know that. Took care of that athletic
huge-
program too for a while,
that was
didn't
a
it?
Well,
huge scandal.
I see it happening here, even here in Onslow County elementary school. Some kids are getting passed on that need to be held back. 'Cause they just aren't
When I was in school, we always
Yeah.
found one or two somewhere sooner or later, and the teachers themselves would sooner or later admit that, you know what, I didn't want to have to put up with him another year.
Well, I had.
What's your opinion on private homeschool kids who want to play in the sports,
I
public
have
school
no opinion
sports?
on it, but that's not what the rules say. So
There's a
Anyway,
lot of people that fight for that.
we have a caller. Good morning. Who's this?
It's Mike.
Hey, Mike. What's
Hi,
up?
Mike.
Not much. I just got a question for Kelly.
Yes.
Do you think that maybe now my kids go to public school,
Mhm.
and there's good and bad about it, and bad about homeschooling and private school.
Mhm.
Everything that you just complained about was private and school and homeschool. Do you think that those problems don't exist in the public school?
Oh, 100% no, they do.
Here's
Yeah.
here's what we're talking about, Mark. Let's boil it down to the basics here. We have a public school system that is by right, by what we, the people of this country, this state, have decided. This is where our tax money is going to go.
Mhm.
There are individuals who would like to suck off some of that tax money and put it into those folks who homeschool or into private schools. That's what the big deal is here to me.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I
Okay.
believe you should have the right to send your kids wherever you want to send them.
I agree with that.
If it's homeschool, then no, you can't play sports, and you're not going to get money from the state. That's why you are at home, and that's why you go to private school, is because you don't want those influences that are in the public schools. That's why you send your kids to private schools. So
Yes.
no, you shouldn't get any state funding. And to my knowledge, most of the private schools that I know of around here, they don't. They're churches and that have schools.
Correct.
And
There's
to my
one that's
knowledge,
not a church.
They're not getting any state funding and stuff like that.
No, there's one here that's not there's two actually that's not a church. And I agree, but no, my issue is I don't want my taxpayers to fund Rayford sending his kid to a private school when we have so many needs in our public school that need to be addressed. And the money, our public schools don't have enough money now. I certainly don't want it cut. So Rayford can send his kid to, Lee's private school over there.
They would not cut the money. They would increase the taxes.
Yeah.
So that's what
Yeah,
it
no,
wants
I
to.
agree.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
All
my
right.
issue. But no, Mike, that's my issue.
Yeah, there is good and there's bad, as we all have
All of
pointed
it,
out.
yeah.
And I just pointed out a prime example of some of the bad in public schools, where kids fall through the cracks. I'm sorry, it's what happens.
It does.
They seem to be impossible to deal with.
Mhm.
So they're just we'll get them in and get them out, and they're on their own, and no big deal for us, and no skin off our teeth. That's the
That's
way
wrong.
sometimes they
Right.
look at
Yeah,
it,
it's
but
wrong.
that's totally wrong.
Yeah.
But then
A
again,
lot of the
go ahead.
a lot of the problem is parenting.
Agree too. Yes, sir.
You can't just drop your child off at public school and that's it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You have to parent. You
I
can't
agree.
you
Yeah.
can't rely on teachers to mold your child's mind.
Yeah, when that well before your time, and you probably never heard of the See Jane Run, See Dick Runs, or whatever. Those little readers in the first and second grade that we all had back then in the ancient days. But anyway, for your mom to sit down with you when you get home from school and let you read to her, that's
Right.
that's where it counts.
Yeah.
Not as young as you think I am, Rayford. I had the same book.
Did you?
Well, but let me say
Hell, I
this.
failed that book.
My children, weren't taught how to write in cursive in school.
Correct.
They can because we've taught them.
Yeah.
Really?
There's
Yeah, they don't learn it now.
They don't. I don't think they get U.S. history.
They get an abbreviated U.S. history, Mike, and it's
Reader's
sad.
Digest
They didn't
version.
get what we got.
When I was in junior high, we had North Carolina history.
Correct.
That was a whole school year. Of it.
They don't get that now.
They don't
As
get
much.
any of that stuff.
No.
So
Okay.
that's one reason a lot of people do choose private school and home.
Understand. Well, why can't there be a mix? I mean, if I'm a parent, I send my kid to public school and gets home and that kid's not learning everything I want that kid to learn. Come on, let's sit down. We're going to the library.
Well, why don't the state
Well,
just change the curriculum? A lot like it used to be back when we all went to school.
That's what we
They're
elect people
teaching to
for.
a test now. That's what it is.
We elect people to make that change.
I believe if you're going to homeschool, there should be some sort of like licensing. I don't know if that's the right word.
Yes.
Minimum qualifications, yes.
Or standards. Yes.
Right.
You're right, Mike. And
Exactly.
I'm going to tell you, and I'm basing this on some clients. There's such a wide variety. Some of these homeschool programs are amazing. Like if I thought my grandson could do it, I would put him in some of them. And some of them are not worth the dirt on the bottom of your shoe. So it literally just depends. And also, some of these parents, you're right, they don't help their kids do anything. It's sad.
That's the sad part.
And then they blame the school system when the child doesn't.
Oh yeah,
pass.
they're the first to complain.
Very sad.
First.
All right, Mike. Thank you, sir.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Mike.
Yeah,
Thank
too.
you.
And guess who's in the house?
Peter.
He came slithering in on a sheet of ice this morning, I think. Just over there.
He's got a sweater and a jacket.
Where are your woolens?
I was warned it's going to be cold in Walmart this morning. So. I might even take a blanket for people. It's
Well, you're
cold
right.
in there anyway because of the refrigerators, but
Oh, at the
one of the
Walmart.
doors doesn't close
Oh,
quickly
no,
enough,
I
so
can't
they
do
left
it.
that open all the time.
He's
Could
right
not
at
do
the
it.
doors.
I wouldn't do it. Nope. Little
Peter,
space heater.
Peter Wright's joining us now. He's our Medicare specialist, expert, man about town, man about Eastern North Carolina. So I was asked this morning if I get your number and there's a lady in another town, another county, I think it's one that you can deal with. You can deal with any of the counties here, right?
Yes, that's
she's,
right.
She's a neighboring county. She's a member of my wife's, one of her clubs.
Uh-huh.
So she wants to talk to somebody. So
Super.
my wife said, I will get you a number. So, all right, to pass your number along
Yes,
to her.
most
Very
certainly.
good.
Please.
That sounds like a winner. So we'll get along with that. So she's heard about you. So that's the good thing.
Thank you.
Anyway, in the world of Medicare, I'm still getting a few calls, not nearly as many calls. They've decided to take to the mails.
Some people are getting a lot of
emails
calls.
and emails. Well, I'm probably on one of those lists somewhere, call list that says, "Don't call that man. He's mean."
Yeah.
So
Good.
it's okay as long as I can
Yeah.
stay there. I'm good. I don't have to change my number every other day.
Yeah, so register your number on donotcall.gov, and that will stop you being called
Yeah.
after about 2 months.
Yeah.
So it
I'm
may
in
not
trouble.
help this year, but next year
It'll help you stop getting calls by so-called legitimate people who are registered, who may or may not be legal, but
yeah, they're not allowed to call you, but they are.
yeah. They will call. You're still this week, all week long, Monday through
Yes,
Friday.
yep,
Oh,
yeah,
hot
that's
dang.
right.
Okay, so this week
and next week, or
for this week
Yeah.
and next week at Walmart. You can find Peter there from 10 o'clock until about 1:30. Whenever he takes a break for lunch, he'll take a chow break for about a half hour, and then he's back in the hot seat. So you can find him there. This is the Walmart on North Marine Boulevard, Highway 17 to a lot of you folks still. At the intersection of Western Boulevard, directly behind the Golden Corral.
Yeah.
So you can go up there, you can eat, you can go see him, or you can go see him, and then you can go eat.
that's right. And I'm there till 6 o'clock.
6
so
o'clock.
From 10 o'clock till 6.
10 o'clock till 6, except for a half hour for chow,
Yeah.
if they allow you. But here, let me give you a telephone number for him too while we're at it. I'll give it to you again later on. 252-675-4488. That's 252-675-4488. And if you're one of the computer guys, you love computers, go to foxplans.com, foxplans.com. Just the way it sounds. Well, the English way it sounds. The British-
Foxplans.com.
That's it.
And the books I used to read were The Little Red Lorry Went Up the Hill.
What?
So you haven't heard that one.
Wow. There you go.
And Thomas the Tank Engine that you
Thomas
probably
the
have.
Tank
I
Engine,
remember Thomas.
That's all of those books. Okay, now what are we dealing with? Questions that you're being asked. Panic attack time. We've only got a short period of time now till December the 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. In most cases,
Yeah, yeah. So, what are the most urgent ones? I'd say it's really just making sure you're in the right plan. People not being aware that, there are plan changes this year, and they need to, they really need to evaluate their situation.
Okay.
So that's the most important thing. I found that the most popular plan, or the most common plan that I'm helping people with, is the Blue Cross Blue Shield Essential Plus plan. That's the one that Blue Cross told us, but before they got 79% of all people with them are signing up for.
Really?
And it's certainly, it's doing the same this year.
So it'll
Yes.
meet most of people's needs,
Yes,
people's needs.
yeah. They'll meet a lot of people's needs, but there are, it depends on your, if you've got Medicare and Medicaid, or or you don't need a drug plan. If you're so there are various different scenarios as well.
Yeah, as you get older, you're going to need a drug plan, folks. One way or the other, the doctors are going to find out something that you've got that you need help with. Trust me.
Well, I was speaking to an 87-year-old gentleman last night, and I said, "Well, do you need any? Do you need me to check your medications?" And he said, "I don't take any medications." He says, "Maybe I will in the future, but I don't at this stage."
10 to 1, if you ask that, did he? I assume he was in pretty good health.
Yes, yeah.
You 10 to 1 if you ask somebody like that. Now, this is not a suggestion, y'all, but he'll say, "I have 2 shots of Jack Daniels every day, and I smoke 3 cigars every day, and I'm healthy as a horse." That's you don't know that you're not healthy because you're just not in pain. No, don't. That's not a suggestion or a prescription, y'all. But I've read so many cases like that. People just say, I just get on with. I've been healthy all my life, so I do whatever I want to do. And there are people like that.
Yeah.
So that's good. Good for them.
Yeah.
I wish I was one of those.
Me too. I mean, about a week ago, I had a very sprightly lady sit down, and I would never have guessed. I asked her what her age was, and it was 93.
Wow.
And she was as sharp as anything.
Well, our neighbor down here went to his 95th birthday party. He gets out and walks in the hot weather, the cold weather every day of the week.
Yeah.
For his birthday, we cooked him. He wanted oysters, so had a big old oyster party for him back last winter in 95.
I missed a pellet.
No, yeah, absolutely. So, and he's spry as he can be.
Yeah.
He is.
Gets
He's
out and
got
does what
more
he wants to
energy
do.
than I do.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the stuff that we need to know about around here, we've got a lot of veterans, we got a lot of active duty, but there are plans for veterans, even though they may have, whatever, they're retired, they've got whatever TRICARE or whatever other plans they have, VA stuff. Yeah. But there are things that they might want to consider that they're not getting help for as quickly or as in the way they want to.
That's right, because some veterans, are surprised that they can get a plan that gives them, money back on Social Security. It doesn't. The plans don't cost anything, so they get extra money back on Social Security each month. Blue Cross has one which gives them $50 back. There are other plans also that I can talk about with them from competitors. They can also add a dental plan that they're often interested in that. With Blue Cross, that's $2,000 at 100%, so that's good. Wow. And over the counter, so they can go to a pharmacy or
that's not on the base.
Yeah, and get over the counter supplies like vitamins, Band-Aids, things like that. And then I've had several veterans say, they want the in-home assistance where you get 60 hours every year to help with cleaning or food preparation, or just maybe just company in the house. And then there's a fitness plan as well. I've had a couple mention that's really interested in them. And of course, for for some people with VA that want to get the drugs or have the option to get drugs from a local pharmacy,
Right.
can also put a plan with a drug plan.
Okay.
You can add a MAPD, Advantage plan with a drug plan to help them as well. So that is no cost to them, because when you sign up for that plan, the Part A and Part B now come under the insurance company you sign up with, and so the government is paying for that, paying the insurance company to provide those benefits. That's why you can get them at no cost to you.
So folks need to take a look-see and see what's available for them if they're retired veterans or whatever.
Yeah,
And why not? Just come check it out and check it out. We'll check it with Peter, and he can get you hooked up, or at least put you in the right direction.
and if you've got VA only, it just gives you an extra network of doctors that you can go and visit, and you have some small co-pays to pay. But if you have TRICARE, then you've got instead of Medicare being your primary payer, the Advantage plan becomes a primary payer, and TRICARE becomes a secondary payer.
Right.
And so you don't have any co-pays whatsoever if you go to see a doctor.
Okay. You got people like Lee, who's federally retired, people who are in this neck of the woods who may have worked civil service, federal retirement. They've got all sorts of people around here, may have worked for the government in one capacity or the other. If it's a federal retirement, there are things that are available to them that they might not know about, right?
There really are. Yeah, thank you for bringing it up, because I don't see many people who are federal retirees because they just don't know that they can get all these benefits that are available. So,
You want to save, you want to get $1,200. You want $1,200 back.
yeah, because that's what you can get as a federal
year.
retiree. You get $100 back on your Social
That's
Security check
$1,200
each
a
month.
year.
Yeah.
If you don't want it, give it to me.
No, hey, that's what he did for me. That's what I'm telling you. He saved me $1,200 a year.
And in addition to that, you get a fitness plan, which
Yes.
for next year will have $112 per month, which you can spend you can spend it on 1 or 2 gym memberships, or getting extra classes while you're at the gym you
Will it pay
like.
for a personal trainer?
Not your Brazilian guy.
I was going to say,
I knew
no,
where she
Lee, you
was
can't get
going.
that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll pay for extra classes, so if that's
Well, he
not a
gets
She don't want the
particular,
classes. She wants the eye
it
candy.
depends what.
Yeah.
My last trainer was like 23 years old, and he almost killed me.
But with that, you can also get the skilled nursing increase from 0 to 60 days to 0 to 100 days. If so it does that. It gives you in-home assistance, like I was talking about with the veterans. You can also get that as a federal retiree. So you can have someone come to your house to help clean it or do food preparation.
I'd have to clean it first. Letting someone in see my dirty house.
That's the way my mother was.
I do. I go on vacation. I clean it before I go on vacation. So when my neighbors come to check the house, it's clean.
Yeah. Well, I hate it when you see that layer, you're looking along your floor and you see that layer of dust. It just makes me go and get the vacuum out and clean
Well,
it.
you were talking about all these amenities. How about, isn't there a food service too? You're eligible, like if you're home recovering from hospitalization, you can have food delivered to your house. There was something about that. I think a meal a day for so many days or something like that.
Yes, on some of the Blue Cross plans, you get 28 meals delivered to your home to help you recuperate.
Right.
I'll have to check and see if that one's in the for a federal retiree. I'm not.
It was in mine.
Was it okay? Well,
Yes.
then you've got it. Yeah.
And speaking of mine, I got notices
You're
from
right.
both Blue,
Post-discharge meals. You're
Right,
quite
from-
right. Sorry, you got a notice from Blue?
from both policies. So I'm going to bring them I was going to bring them today and just give them to you at your leisure. Take a look at them, but they're talking about changes. I don't know.
He
It's
doesn't
just,
have leisure, he has leisure.
Leisure, yes. I'm gonna drop them off to you at your booth at Walmart, and when you get time, you can take a look at them. And I don't think anything's really changed, but it's the jargon, and you're like,
Mhm.
what? So
At your leisure, I will
Yeah.
look at it.
at your leisure, no hurry.
And if you fit into this plan, one of the things too is for a lot of folks they live alone. They're all by
Mhm.
themselves,
Yeah.
and they have a cell phone, but they may not keep their cell phone on them. They may take a fall.
That's right.
They may not be able to get up.
Mhm.
The older you get, the more damage you've done to yourself. Sometimes the more difficult it is to get up when you've fallen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got an emergency responder beacon, right?
Yeah. Response system, a button you wear around your neck so you can
Mhm.
ask for help when you need it.
My
Get
mother
help when
had
you need
one
it.
and never used it. It's nothing
What,
like
did she
walking
need
into
it?
the. Yes, I walked in there twice. She was on the floor.
Oh my! Why did she use it?
She didn't want to bother anybody.
Yeah,
She was good at setting it off in the other time.
I
though.
could have guessed that.
As you get older, you get
You just don't-
independent and
you
you don't
just
want to
don't-
bother people. So you just lay on the floor till one of your
I
children
just
decides to come
want to
by.
start bothering them now, whether I need it or not.
And the other scary thing is that sometimes you don't realize you're having a stroke. Or
That's the thing.
That's
Yes.
I was talking to one of my
Right.
friends, and he had a stroke recently, about a month ago, and he drove to work with that stroke. He
Ooh.
didn't know. It's when
Oh,
he
no.
started walking around at work, and people were saying, "No, we got to get." They called the ambulance for him. He just didn't know, and I've heard about that multiple times.
Wow, that's scary.
Yeah.
So,
That is.
okay. So there are some things there that can help you.
Yeah, because for federal retirees, those plans do not cost you. So people, that's one of the. Unfortunately, when I do tell federal retirees about these plans, I had one this last week. He said that's just too good to be true. I'll
Yeah.
have to go and think about it and talk it over with my son. And
Sometimes that whole thing, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is
Mhm.
too good to be true, but not all of the time.
Yeah.
This is one of those occasions.
this
This has been vetted by a whole lot of folks. We've looked at it. We've got one person here who has had it for a year or more now, Lee.
Yes.
So she knows for a fact that it's legit. All
Oh,
of this
yes,
stuff is
it's very
straight up.
legit.
So
well, it is made by Blue Cross for Blue Cross federal retirees. So
Well, what I
it is
like-
definitely
No
legit.
copay. I go every doctor. Well, what few doctors I've been to for checkups, no
Mhm.
copay.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I'm just going to start using your name. They won't know the difference.
Hey,
I got your date of birth.
if it works for you, go right with it.
All right. Anything else you can tell? We'll get back to where you living right now, part time, but at Walmart. But is there anything else that we need to know? The folks out there need to know.
People with Medicare and any level of Medicaid, contact me or come and see me. You've got a lot of very good options this year with Blue Cross, but also with competitors too. So it's very worthwhile, finding out what those are.
If you are one of those folks that are turning 65 this year, or have just turned 65, and maybe you've just got that little red and white and blue card
Mhm.
that says Medicare, and you think you're home free, there are other things there that can help you,
Mhm.
and that some of them don't cost you anything additional, right?
Yeah.
You need to talk with Peter. Bring, when you see him, and I'm still putting mine together, a list
You've been saying
of
that for
all of
months.
your medications.
Right.
Be very specific about how much you take, what it is, what the
Timing.
strength it
Right.
is, and then how many times you take it a day, yada, yada, yada. And then put a list together of every physician, your dentist, your optometrist or ophthalmologist, whoever. Any of those with a gist on the end of them, they're the higher end folks. So you need to put all of that together. If you have counseling needs, in some cases, counselors or counseling firms that accept insurance, you may want to include that on your list. Don't know what I don't know what it is, but yes, they do sometimes. I don't know.
That's a good point. Yeah, I've got one I've
Okay.
specifically got to check that out, to
Okay,
make
so
sure.
there we go. You can
Yeah.
bring everything that if you see a doctor about anything,
Mhm.
toenails and whatever, put it on your list.
Yep.
And you never know how it's going to work out for you until you go try. It's not going to cost you
Correct.
anything to go ask.
hmm
Peter will do it for you and take care of it. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
we
that's
appreciate that.
Let's
too.
get back to where you're going to be. You were there today at Walmart, Marine Boulevard. That's Marine Boulevard North at the intersection of Western Boulevard.
It's Boulevard.
And he's there beginning at 10 o'clock this morning. So he's got an hour and 40 minutes to get there from 10 o'clock until about 1:30. And then he goes to lunch. And then about 2 o'clock, when he gets back from lunch, he'll be there until 6 o'clock. So go there. I'd go early, check in, find out how long your wait's going to be, if any. And then you can go to your shop. And if you got any waiting time, go get your stuff. I've got a list of stuff that I've got to buy. And that's the only place in town that I can get them at the price that it's available. So I guess what I'm going to be doing. So that's the way I do things. I'm sort of a smart shopper from time to time. My wife says otherwise, but from time to time, that's what I do. I go pick up the stuff that I need at the places that I need it. And Walmart's got some things that I need. So I'll be
Right.
there. And Peter will be one of my stops with my list. Probably just leave it with you. So you can take it home and play with it.
Yeah,
or
that's what I'm
something.
gonna. I'm just gonna drop mine off, and he can check it out for me.
He's there
I think I'm
Monday
good.
through Friday this week and next week. You could give him a call. If he does not answer, leave him a message. Include your phone number. Don't forget, include your phone number. Do it twice and speak distinctly. Don't tell me, well, 256. No, he's not going to call you back. He doesn't know. I couldn't understand you. You can call his number at 252-675-4488. 252-675-4488. You can also visit his website, foxplans.com. How about the easiest website you'll ever have to remember?
super.
How's that?
Yeah, that's great. Thank
Okay,
you.
very good.
What does the fox say?
I don't even know what noises foxes make. Do
Remember
you?
that song? What does the fox
Stop.
say?
You're going to make people sing that in their head.
The
Stop.
one I remember, like a fox,
No, that's not it.
on the run.
What
No, I know
does
it's
the
not. But
fox say?
Yeah, and it's that
know.
high pitched. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I'm singing it in my head now. Thank you.
I walked through the corn on the way down to the river. A hair shone like gold in the hot morning sun. Something like that. The Fox on the Run. Remember that song? It was when I was about 13 years old.
No.
She walked, not I walked.
So entertaining this morning.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Anybody else want to sing this morning? If you can top that, let us know. Peter, thank you as always.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And when you see me sliding through there, you'll know I'm on the run.
Thank you for helping
the
us.
Fox on the run.
Yeah.
Right.
Fox
on the
run.
They call my late uncle the Gray Fox.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Oh, my goodness gracious. That's Peter's always not only informative, but entertaining. And folks, you can see him again at Walmart.
Sing us a song.
on Marine Boulevard. He might even sing for you if you go make a special request.
There you
I
go.
would think he would do that.
Yeah.
He's going to have to learn the other song though.
I've got some.
I've been asked to leave 2 choirs, so I'm not sure you really want me to sing. And that's absolutely true. Well, the one asked me to leave. The other one asked me to mouth the words.
Do you take requests?
Really?
Requests like
They just
sing.
told you to lip sync it?
Yeah.
I love singing. I used to sing a lot of folk songs. I
In the
knew about
shower?
100. No, in the mountains with all my friends.
Oh, really?
We had fantastic fun.
You take requests?
What's your favorite folk song?
Sing for
A very rude one.
Okay.
rude one?
What's your less than favorite song that's not rude?
Oh, no, there's lots of folk songs I really like. Having said that, no, I can't
You can't even
remember.
think
The Leaving of Liverpool.
Okay.
How does that go? It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. etc.
Alrighty then. We have a
Okay.
senior health insurance agent.
There you go.
Yes.
Peter, thank you. And
Thank you.
we shall see you next Wednesday, right?
Yep.
Same time,
Sure.
same channel. Okay.
Okay.
You have a good one.
Cheers.
Okay, dokie. The Marine Forecast brought to you by Community Prevention Services of Jacksonville. You've no doubt seen the colorful, those well-lit stores featuring those vaping products out there. I had no idea what they were. I had to learn, just as a lot of you folks have learned. And unfortunately, y'all probably learned from your kiddies. I didn't have to do that. I learned from law enforcement and from Kelly. Maybe you're not aware of it, but did you know that North Carolina is number 2 in the nation for teenage vaping use? Teens. We're number 2 in the entire country. That's not something to be proud of. Parents and caregivers, if you want to learn something about vaping, you need to learn something about vaping, probably more than you even know now. You want to learn about the inherent dangers for teenagers who vape? Dangers? Are there dangers for teens who vape? How to help keep teens from partaking of the stuff? There is some help out there. Contact Community Prevention Services right here in Jacksonville at 910-353-0972. It's located here, locally owned and operated, meaning you don't have to drive all over the state for help. Perhaps you want to learn what all the hype's about. Is vaping actually dangerous, or is this just a malarkey? Is it worse than cigarettes? I'm probably sure you've heard some kids say, oh, well, it's not as bad as cigarettes. Is this just a sneaky way for some people to smoke weed? Is your teenager telling you there's nothing wrong with it? Therefore, that would be a clue. If you don't know any better, it's time to get educated. Community Prevention Services offers free information on all substance misuse prevention issues for youth and adults. Give them a call today at 910-353-0972. That's 910-353-0972. Community Prevention Services located at Henderson Drive in Jacksonville. Offshore today, after 20 nautical miles, the small craft advisory has been extended through Saturday afternoon. Northeasterly winds 15 to 20, gusts to 30, seas 5 to 7, 3 to 4 near shore, sounds and rivers choppy. Tomorrow, easterly winds 10 to 15, seas coming down just a little bit, but don't get used to it. 3 to 5, 2 to 3 near shore, sounds and rivers of moderate chop. Friday, northwesterly winds 20 to 25 knots, gusts to 30, seas 5 to 7 feet, again 2 to 4 near shore, sounds and rivers rough.
Today, sunny, high of 61 with north winds 7 to 10 miles an hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy, low of 48. Tomorrow, rain, high of 62, about 80% chance. Tomorrow night, rain, low of 52, so it'll be a little bit warmer. With tomorrow night's winds gusting at 16 miles an hour. Up to an inch of rain is possible tomorrow night alone. Friday, mostly cloudy, high of 60. Winds 13 to 17 miles an hour with 26 mile an hour gusts. That's going to be filled just bitterly cold.
Yes, it is.
And about a 40% chance of rain during the day, mainly before noon, according to this. But this is Jacksonville, so it's hard to say. Tomorrow night, Friday night, mostly clear, low of 43. So you guys will be freezing it at the game, but it should be clear so you won't get wet.
Do
It's
there
gonna
any
feel
butt
good.
warmers that you can take to the stands and put on those?
They actually do make like battery operated ones.
Well,
Like
here's a
electricity
thought.
cell.
We just take a 12 volt and put it underneath the bleachers, run some wires down to it,
Electrocute people as
and
they sit.
then take your seat warmers and plug them into that. We'll be good.
You know, those.
We're tough. We're Cardinals.
Those stands are metal, aren't they?
Yeah,
I
they
could-
are.
I
It's
could
just
not
wire-
electrocute
I
somebody.
could wire them with 120 volt, or maybe a little bit
Yeah.
lower, just enough to get a little jingle going.
You could do that. We'll be fine. It'll be a nice, crisp evening.
It's gonna be
great.
fun till the boys in red take away the football.
Yeah,
It'll be fun
well,
for us, not for somebody else.
I have my predictions.
Y'all,
but
get your long johns out because it's not so
Oh.
much for the cold; it's going to be for the wind.
The wind is
The wind is
brutal.
going to be cutting through
Mhm.
whatever you're wearing. I would do it in layers.
Right.
Layers tend to protect you a little bit better from wind-blown cold.
Bring a blanket, like a nice thick fuzzy one.
Yeah, that's good too.
Yeah. I think so.
I have some other things, but I won't say any of the above right now. Not a man to wait until the last minute. President-elect Donald Trump is announcing his picks for key positions in his administration. Yes, I've saved this for the last part of the show because I know Theo's out there. Interesting that up front, he removed speculation about Nikki Haley and Mike Pompeo, saying he had nothing for them. Last week, right off the bat, Trump said Susie Wiles, the woman who many credit for keeping him on the straight and narrow as much as he can be contained during his campaign, will be his chief of staff. A smart move. And by all accounts, a great choice. And the first female to serve in the capacity ever as chief of staff.
Really?
Really?
No.
I should not be
That's
surprised, and I might be a little concerned about the reasoning for picking a really good Fox News journalist for a cabinet position.
Can't wait to see
People are
that.
mad about that.
A key position at that. And it has nothing to do with journalism or the media.
No.
Good old Pete Hegseth will be Trump's Secretary of Defense.
I was just reading about that.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. There's a good chance that he's pretty qualified for the slot. He served honorably in the U.S. Army, something that so many of members of the former secretaries of defense have never done. He served honorably in the Army, served in Guantanamo Bay, Iraq, and Afghanistan. On air, he's one of the handful of network journalists that I can actually find credible. Might be me, but I hate to lose his talents to the world of politics. Then again, I want y'all to think like I do. With J.D. Vance as the VP, this could make Trump's cabinet pretty outstanding, especially where it comes to the Defense Department. New York Republican representative and the current House GOP conference chair is described as an attack dog for Trump in Congress. She's a staunch supporter of Israel, having made headlines for her combative lines of questioning of Ivy League university presidents over their handling of anti-Israel protests, some of which prompted the presidents to resign from those schools. Elise Stefanik will be the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, the position that Haley had held during Trump's first term. Trump's national security advisor is a former Green Beret officer. Okay, here we go again. I'm telling you, y'all. Secretary of Defense, Army veteran, good Army veteran, knows his way around journalism as well. J.D. Vance, military, Green Beret officer, national security advisor. Michael Waltz, he's a congressman from Florida. Trump described Waltz as a best-selling author and an expert on the threats. This is a key. Expert on the threats posed by China, Russia, Iran, and global terrorism. I like it. I like it. A name you will know, former governor of Arkansas, they call it Arkansas, and a presidential candidate, Mike Huckabee, will serve Trump's ambassador, will be his Trump's ambassador to Israel. Interesting. Trump says he's counting on Huckabee to help secure peace in the Middle East. Okay, you got a chore on your hands there, Bubba. Lee Zeldin, former House Republican from New York, unsuccessful candidate for governor of New York, but not by much, will be Trump's EPA administrator. During his gubernatorial run, Zeldin called on New York to lift its ban on fracking. This should prove to be an interesting choice for that slot. Now, let's go over to some places that I like. The Chief Spook.
What?
The Chief Spook, better known as the Director of the Central Intelligence Administration, will be the former intelligence director known as John Ratcliffe. That's his name. He served as Trump's Director of National Intelligence during Trump's first term. He will be the CIA director. Y'all didn't know what a spook was?
I did.
Well, I knew, but I
Come
just thought it was kind of a bad choice of words to use.
That's
No.
what they're called.
I know
what they're
that.
known as.
I know that, but think about it later.
No. Get your head out of the
No doubt.
racist
What's happening
arena.
over here, Lee?
Now, not a surprise at all to me. Marco Rubio, pretty much a household name, will likely get the coveted Secretary of State job. He and Trump bumped heads a lot, traded barbs during Rubio's primary run. Now,
My favorite
Mine, your favorite?
It's probably going to be this. Probably going to be the same. Go ahead.
Picking up where President Biden's choice to take on the job as border czar never left the starting gate. Tom Homan.
He's
That
gonna
guy.
be
He's the former
fierce.
acting director of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement and worked to enforce Trump's zero tolerance policy when it came to illegal
Yes.
immigration during Trump's first stint as president. No stranger to the border. He served under 6 presidents, dating back to Ronald Reagan. At least he comes on board with credentials. I do have a feeling that there are going to be some long awaited for policy enforcements coming our way.
Gonna
You
be
wait
some
and see.
congressional hearings.
Might be a bit rocky for those inside the. Time to buckle up, y'all. You hear?
He said it's going to be bad before it gets better, and I can see all the congressional hearings now.
Couple of positions still to be decided. Wonder who do what he'll do with Chris Wray, the current FBI director.
Oh, didn't I read he was leaving or something?
Yeah, he should be. So I wonder what's going to happen there. It would be great if he would go down the ranks and find a brick agent, somebody who's actually carried a badge and arrested people. That would be a wonderful change, of course. And what about the? This is something that should be a most important position affecting Trump's future every day of the week. The director of the Secret Service. He hasn't been openly critical of the organization like America has. He has sung the praises after the assassination attempt in Pennsylvania, but there's been a lot of criticism from both sides of the aisle about those at the top for quite a while. And at a time when there are reports of direct threats against this president, this might be the time to make absolutely sure this agency is in capable hands. Some reports circulating that former Secret Service agent Dan Bongino could be in the running for the agency's top spot.
I love him.
What?
I'm sorry.
We know him as the aggressively outspoken big mouth that has his own talk show.
I love him.
I know nothing else about his actual time and grade, though I have heard some things by somebody that was in the same class with him. Not sure if he was a key player or not. Only thing I can say is that at least he's actually worked in the agency as a real street cop.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been there.
He's tough. Yeah.
Who we got?
We have got 2443. Oh, there it is. Jennifer.
All the way from Tennessee, by God.
That's right. I wanted to call and say good morning to you. I've got 2 or 3 things on my mind. But
Go ahead.
Go with it.
I was listening to you going through your Trump's picks.
Yeah.
And did you hear yesterday? You know the guy on Shark Tank, that Mark Cuban, that spoke all out about how Trump did not surround himself with strong, intelligent women. They said that he had deleted all of those posts that he had put, because I was thinking, okay, his chief of staff, then he picked Elise Stefanik, that ripped him a new one over the whole Jewish, with the heads of the colleges and stuff like that. I thought, now, how can he say, he's putting all these, I think it's going to be absolutely wonderful. But I was thinking about something yesterday, and I know I'm beating a dead horse. I know it's already dead. Every time that poor Leo calls in, he always brings up January 6th.
Yep.
And I told Terry, I said, here's the problem. I said, all of these people voted against Trump over the one day. They keep bringing up that one day.
Yep.
That one day. We voted for him because of the last 4 years of just them running amok. No policy, the border being open, all of the spending, everything. So they're putting one day bad that they say that Trump did over 4 years of bad of them. Mm-hmm. So that's just my little tidbit on that. And then I heard you talking about schools this morning, and I wanted to ask, and Kelly might know, I don't know. I'm out of the loop. I don't have kids in high school. I've got some grandkids, but anywho, do they do random drug testing in the Onslow County high schools?
No,
Mm-mm.
You mean
Okay. For students?
no,
Okay.
No.
they do not.
No. Okay. I saw a thing up here. Now, it's Kingsport City Schools, but they passed a thing that if a student is in a extracurricular activity, a voluntary extracurricular, if they're in band, if they're in golf, swimming, football, orchestra, whatever, if they are in any school-sponsored extracurricular activity, all of their names get put into this, they called it a pool, and they draw them out randomly and drug test them.
I'm
And
not sure that I
you know-
agree with that.
Mm.
The parents have to sign off on it,
Mm.
and I don't know. I have mixed emotions on it, because I think that would be a good deterrent for if there is a student out there that's being pressured, oh, come on, try it. It's just that one time. They've got that in their mind, hey, I could be drug tested tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
It could save a life. It could be the difference between that one fentanyl and finishing out going to life. I don't know, but I was just curious as to that, as to whether there was. I mean, I see both sides of it. So I didn't see any outrage on the post on Facebook that I saw. There was nothing about it. It was just a straightforward, it had been passed, blah, blah, blah. So I was just wondering. But I did want to say to everybody out there listening, if you have not already, it's very, very easy. Go to the Rayford Brown Show. Look at the link. There's a link on there about the race across America.
Mm-hmm.
You can click on it. Takes you right straight to. You can even, we bought two, so I'm assuming
Thank
you buy
you.
two and
You
get
get-
one
you
for
get
Yes,
another
free.
ma'am. Yes.
But
Do the same thing.
this year, we you can even actually put it in memory. I couldn't figure out how to do it like two people, so this year we put it in memory. We put them in memory of Terry's daddy that had
Nice.
been in the Marine Corps, and so next year we'll do it in memory of my dad that
Okay.
had been in the Army and the Navy.
No.
And so and then Kenneth, we want to remember
yeah, definitely.
Terry's brother Kenneth that was in the Navy.
Definitely.
But if you're out there and you haven't already, do it. It's real easy. If this hillbilly can do it, anybody can do it. Just take your little credit card,
Yeah.
put it in there. You buy two, you get one free.
Yeah,
So
everything you need to
everybody
know
needs to-
about purchasing
Yeah.
that reef is in that story on how to find
Oh, yeah.
a grave, the grave
Mhm.
number, everything
Mhm.
is there.
Yeah, and you don't have to put them, of course, in memory of someone that is buried there. It
No,
can
it
be
does not. Does
in,
it can be
in memory
anybody.
of anybody. So
That's right.
go ahead and do that. And there was something else, but I don't remember what it was. It was something about, you were talking about, somebody called in this morning. They were talking about how things start at home and the parenting. And I didn't hear what y'all were talking about, but about teaching and stuff. And I looked at Terry and I said, here's the difference in the kids today. I can remember, I'm not going to call any names, which she has passed away, but still had a lady, had two children. They came home and she said, bags, and sat there right in front of me and did their homework.
Oh, really?
And I thought, what are you doing? And I thought, well, there's no wonder that your elementary students are on the honor roll and all this. But guess what happened? When they got on up in school, it wasn't that easy, you know. And I told Terry, I said, these kids didn't have parents like me. I can remember looking at my dad and knowing he had been in the Korean War and saying, hey, Dad, how about, you know, helping me out on this? So I had a report to do. And my dad pointed at the encyclopedias.
Oh, yeah.
And my whole life, he called me Willie. My whole life.
Really?
Wow.
And he pointed at them and he said, Willie, all you need to know about the Korean War is right there in that world book that's marked K. I was like, yes, sir. and students need more of that. They don't find it out on their own.
I'll tell you something that students do need to know, and parents can probably help them a lot more than the teachers can. It's learning how to study. Duh. Why do I say that? Because, you know, I guess I was blessed and I was cursed growing up. I could listen to the teacher in the classroom, and pretty much I finished my homework before I ever left the classroom. I could do that because I knew what I was doing. It was, can I say, chump change to me? It was easy. Right. Disgustingly easy until I got in higher levels of education. Now, the higher levels of education, I'll fess up to you, it was tough because I forgot how to study. I never learned the real basics of actually having to go study something because I knew it. I just knew it in the the earlier grades. So parents, that might be something you want to give some serious consideration to. Not only, I don't care, did you get your homework done? Yeah. Oh, let me see how you got it. Show me what you did. And then ask them questions about that. If that had ever been done, I probably would be okay.
Yeah.
So studying itself is a tough chore.
And some things come so easy.
Yes, they do.
To some students. Now take, for instance, me. I loved social studies. Mm-hmm. Loved history.
Yeah, I love history, but I didn't like social studies.
Made wonderful grades in it. I enjoyed Algebra 1 so good, I took it twice. And you can figure out what that means.
Good.
I got you loud and clear.
We were talking about that before air this morning.
I mean, I didn't get it. I just didn't get it. It was, I got in college and was on the dean's list. Everything came easy to me. Yep. But algebra, and to this day, I'm 59. Geometry. I've never had to figure out what X was.
I have.
No one's ever come to me up on the street and said, hey.
It's in the Atlantic.
What, you know, I mean, I've just never had to do it.
Well,
but,
well, let me ask you this. Before you got those fancy little cars that we got today that tell you what your gas mileage is, did you ever pull up to the gas pumps and say, okay, my odometer was this the last time I filled up and it's this now, and the mileage that I've been is this, and then the number of gallons of gasoline that it took to fill this up tells me how I can do it. But with using algebra, I can tell you how many miles per gallon I'm getting. Did you not ever do that?
My dad used to.
Oh, my God.
Never care.
Oh, my God.
If I had enough money to put the gas in my car and get to where I needed to go, that's all I cared about.
I had an inquiring mind.
I grew up and married a mechanic. So it didn't matter. It didn't matter. If I put my key in it and it started, I was good to go.
There you go. One of these days when we're in person, I will tell you how your father-in-law tuned up a Volkswagen.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Oh, I can tell you exactly what he told me.
I'm married to his son.
No.
And I've seen him tune up some stuff.
I'll tell you exactly how he tuned it up without anything but a screwdriver, okay?
Okay. All right. Well, y'all have a good day. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jennifer. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, we did have another caller and getting through when you're dialing us right now. That's going to change. It should have changed by today, but the wrong part came in. The part that I ordered came in, which ordered the wrong part by mistake on my part. It's been sent back. It goes out in today's mail. Another one is on the way. they'll cross paths somewhere in the U.S. mail system.
Right.
I hope they don't get mixed up. But anyway, we'll get the other part in. In the meantime, you have to wait for the caller we have on the air to get off and wait about 10 seconds and then call back. If you're just getting it and ringing and we're not answering, because we can't answer it. But when you call back, it will be routed back up to the primary line and right straight into our interface box, just like it's doing right now.
Well,
Good morning. Who's this?
Theo.
Good morning, Deplorable.
There you are, Theo. How are you?
How's it going?
Doing fine now. How are you?
Good. I'm going to play a game that Deplorable Chris plays every day.
Deplorable Chris. Okay.
All right. Can you tell me, all of you, when you hear the words losers and suckers, what has come to your mind?
Well, suckers comes up lollipops. Losers, I mean, I can tell you about some of those, but those are usually those that ended up with the handcuffs on them and they went to jail. Now, what about it?
Well, how about the other one? Kelly, when you hear suckers and losers, what comes in your mind?
Sucker would be, in my opinion, somebody that's gullible. Loser is someone that is two things: one, lost, or two, just not of great caliber, quality person.
character, right.
Yeah.
How about you, Lee?
Well, I could give you names, but I won't do that. But
So why not?
because that's not a nice thing
They're
to
friends
do.
of hers.
They're friends, yeah. Well, sort of.
Okay. How about if, let me ask you another question. How about you say that he's not a hero because he got caught? When you hear that, what do you think about?
Depends on what it is and what he got caught at and how serious it was. And I mean, I've known a lot of people over my time of life who have done things wrong, but I can't stop appreciating them as a friend or stop being a friend or a relative because of that. It just depends.
Oh.
It's too vague a vague
You
question.
want me to answer what I think about, if somebody has done some things that I think are wrong, but he's still classified as a hero, let's just put it this way. How about the poor little old private first class in a foxhole? And he's been sort of a goof off, a nobody, he's done nothing. He's been a sloucher his entire life, and including in the Army. And a grenade comes in, and there's a whole bunch of people in the foxhole with him, and he jumps on top of it. Do you classify him as a hero or a loser?
No comment.
Okay, just you got to put this stuff into perspective.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in perspective. You said that in the cabinet that they picked a lot of military guys, right?
Yes, it takes. Not all military guys are great. You understand that?
Yeah.
I've told you that before.
So, suckers and losers is what Trump calls the military men. And he said about John McCain that he's not a hero because he got caught. You think that President Zelensky calls his men suckers and losers?
I have no idea what he calls his men.
So when getting military men in his cabinet, they're losers. That's what he called them.
I don't think he referred to all military personnel as suckers and losers.
Nice try. You can tell that to somebody else.
Okay,
you ain't going to get away with that with me.
Okay. He did not refer to all military personnel as suckers and losers.
So let me tell you one more thing. 4 years ago at this time, some lawyers and the president of the United States got together and had an insurrection. Lawyers, Eastman, and Giuliani, and others. Okay? So this man shouldn't be running for president, and yet he ran, and you guys voted him in.
Why should he not be
That's
running?
all. That's my comment for today.
Why should he not be
Thank
running?
you.
Fine, Theo.
Thank you very much. I'll be letting you know about this every day till January 6th, so you can see it on TV. Okay?
Okay.
You think it's to Jennifer, that's a small thing, huh? She said, Theo just picks on that one thing. That one thing is what this country's all about. Okay? Now, I don't hear anybody calling for fraud now. It's been over a week that this election has been over, but there was no fraud. But if he would have lost, it would have been a mess here right now that you guys would be cleaning up. But there's nothing going on right now, huh?
Okay, my turn. My turn.
Go ahead.
Okay, I personally congratulated not just because of the outcome of the election, but even on election day, I was talking about how well run and how well secured this whole election process was. For the last 4 years, our government, my government, your government, they've been working on it. Now that our government is run by the Democrats during the last 4 years. They have worked on making absolutely sure that everything that could be done was done to make sure this election was secure. And that included from foreign intervention as well, not just from internal. I think we owe them a debt of gratitude. That's what I think.
Nice try. Nice
okay,
try.
well then, whatever. I can't say anything to make you happy.
Okay, so look.
Yes.
He might be picking cabinet members. How many quit and how many he got rid of? He had 4 attorney generals. So picking out whoever he picks, whether it's women or men, if they're good or bad, how long do you think they're going to last?
I don't know.
Well,
time will tell. Time will
look
tell.
at the last 4 years he was the president. You'll see what happened.
Time will tell.
Good luck. I want to wish you good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you soon.
I'm sure. Bye.
Keep up the bad work.
See ya. We're trying.
All right, backing up a little bit, news about Christopher Wray, because
Yes.
you brought him up. He is preparing for a possible force exit. So I'm sure he'll be leaving.
Yeah. Well,
And then you were talking about
he's
Trump's-
tried to make amends over the last 3 years.
Yes.
It hasn't done very well.
You were talking about Trump's picks so far.
Mhm.
Elon Musk and Ramaswamy
Yeah.
to lead Trump's Department of Government Efficiency.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, they're going to take. Well, they're billionaires. They know
Is
how
that
to
like a
spend.
made-up agency?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
is this
something
something
new.
new?
I don't know.
They're
anything.
going to.
I hope they're not getting paid for it. They got enough money.
They're going to dismantle government bureaucracy and slash excessive regulations, cut wasteful spending, and restructure federal agencies.
They can recommend it. They can't do it.
Of course, because it's
Smart.
got to go through Congress. But yeah, I think that's going to be extremely interesting. And
Well,
he's
those
got
two
a
are
cabinet
weird
going
anyway.
in January. By March, April, half of them will resign, quit, or be fired.
Well, they
and there'll
have to
new
be-
people coming in.
They have to be confirmed, though, too.
Yes, they do.
Right. But I'm
And
just
they all
saying,
might not get confirmed by
with
whoever
any-
Senate or whoever does
with
it.
any new administration, you bring in a slew of people, they get in, they start doing their job. 3-4 months later, you're replacing some of them. It happens all administrations.
Well, I didn't have to get rid of people that I hired too often. I did better screening than a lot of other folks. Mike, you got just about a minute or so. Good morning. Again.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, Mike.
Just want to call about Vivek and
Musk.
Mr. Tesla.
Elon, yes.
Yeah, I think it's a space to watch going in the future. Something I had concern about before the election that put them in the position to where they can pretty much pick their pretty much root out their competition or build their private enterprise through those positions. That's something to watch. That has concern. I know y'all have concerns about the electric vehicles and stuff like that, but you know how that guy is with Tesla. So something to watch. He might put people in certain positions to where they make it mandatory for electric vehicles to be everywhere and just take over the market.
No, they can't do it. It'd be very difficult for anybody to put electric vehicles as mandatory right now. I am not opposed to electric vehicles. I'm opposed to electric vehicles until there's better beta testing. Now, yes, they have been putting them out there, and so far they have not performed as well as they should have. The second generation was better than the first. Third generation is in the process now. It's going to be better than the first and second. Maybe by the fourth or fifth generations, it'll be something the masses can tolerate. It should never be mandated until it has all the beta testing done.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you have any concern that the richest person in the world has so much power in our government and access to our government contracts. That's pretty much what he survives on.
Are you talking about Musk?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see about that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it was great to watch.
he can only get, I don't know who else you'd put in some of these positions there. Do you want to put poor?
Well, I wouldn't put someone that runs a company for a living. It would be someone that actually serves American people for a living.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference when, running a company versus serving American people.
Oh, okay.
And they're looking at things as transactional.
Then maybe we should put somebody who builds tanks and missiles.
Well, even with the Secretary of Defense pick, like me and him, our records pretty much mirror each other. Well, I wouldn't think that I would be a good pick for Secretary of Defense because the military industrial complex is a huge thing to manage, and that's what that job entails, and a lot of other things. And we just simply don't have the type of expertise to run that job.
Yeah.
Get the people in position that are actually, have expertise or been in those circles to actually run it.
Mm-hmm.
Because continuity of government is important.
Yeah. Well, he's not my favorite pick in the world, but I can understand why you might want to put somebody like Pete in there because he has a wider scope of things, knowledge of things than just a pure, straight up bureaucrat military person, right? I
agree with that.
He's done a whole lot more than just the average lieutenant colonel or commanding general somewhere, or 4-star general. He's done a lot more than that.
Yeah, there's certain levels of leadership that is segmented within the military to where you get experiences that lower listeners just won't get.
Yeah, got it. All right, Michael, it's time. Gotta go.
It's time, and before we go, I have some local news I wanted to share.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
The Onslow County Sheriff's Office won 17-16 in the 3rd annual Battle of the Badges against Jacksonville Police Department on this past Friday night.
Did they cheat?
I'm
just asking.
The win gives the sheriff's office its 3rd win in as many years and remains undefeated against JPD.
Okay.
All proceeds go to the Special Olympics.
Well, I'm glad of that part. So there are winners out there. Special Olympics.
Talk to the sheriff last night, Chris Thomas. And as you know, it's Movember, which is the month that men don't shave in order to raise awareness for prostate cancer, stuff like that.
I shaved this morning.
But they have to pay like $50 or something into the kitty in order to participate. And right now the sheriff's office has raised a little over $5,000, which will be donated to, I believe he said, Samaritan's Purse.
Okay, good.
And if anybody would like to make donations to go along with that, you can write a check to Samaritan's Purse and take it down to the sheriff's office.
Yeah. Just leave your gun in your car.
Yeah, but
unless you got a badge to go with it.
But
it better be a real
great
badge,
job on the ball game.
Yes, excellent. 17-16. That's a close score. I bet you that was
I bet that was a thriller game.
I wish I'd have gone.
Well, look, we've seen how some of those boys can dance. So
one of those boys can
dance.
And I've got a suggestion for next year for somebody who's in charge of that event next year.
Oh, seriously?
It came to mind about that one individual. So we'll see.
Okay. Well, I told him last night he'd probably come back as a pro, and he said he'd already been asked. So.
Okay, well then I don't have to ask anymore. Then, but I have a suggestion who his partner will be. I don't have a name, but I got a. Anyway, we'll talk. Okay. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you if you're on the highway between here and Wilmington. Get off of the sidewalk because that's how I'm going to be driving. What?
That's what I used to tell my postal carriers. Please stay off the sidewalks today.
Yeah. Well, if you don't like it, get off the sidewalk. I'm going to drive on it. You're live and local, Real Talk, right here on our Fox News channel and on YouTube channel. And we've got
Facebook. Yes.
Fox. What did I say?
You said Fox News, but we knew what you meant. So
Facebook. That other one. The other F word. The Facebook. What? Facebook and YouTube, we're here, and we have an internet channel now, internet radio.
Yes.
We have 90% of it configured. We're working on the other 10%, and then we'll let you know as soon as it's
Yeah.
open for consideration.
We're going to be right up there
Oh,
in
yeah.
contest with iHeart.
Oh, wow.
Sirius.
Okay. See you tomorrow
Okay.
morning. Have a great rest of your day. Be safe.